Someone had asked me who is the strongest villain in my series, and that's boring, so I'm not going to answer that. But what I will answer is what is my favorite villains in my series and why. In no particular order, of course, we got to put Unk the Beza, the blue giant. Yes, that is canonically his name. And because the story he's featured in is about the father of the MC, who is a top tier, by default that makes Unk the Beza a top tier. He's really just a crazy raging giant that eats people from an extinct, or at least believed to be extinct, race of giants, and he lives in the mountains, so he's kind of like a yeti. Not too much complexity here, more like a force of nature kind of villain. Just a powerhouse that fucks shit up. The next one is this one, Messenger Gustavo, the villain from the one-shot of Fox in Sheep's Clothing. I like this one because it's another type of villain, who I would say is pretty close to pure evil. I mean, there's nothing, like there are no redeeming qualities about this guy. He's basically a false preacher that just like manipulates people into giving him money, and his greed knows no bounds. It's kind of like the one dude from Full Metal Alchemist, I can't remember his name, but the dude from the beginning of the series. And also he knows magic, so he can turn into a giant fox. That's pretty much his abilities. Of course, we have the main villain, Shale, the angel that left the angel world and came to the humans world, and is trying to gather an army of humans to help him find the runes to recreate the world. This is like a benevolent villain. I guess this would be like the most like justified villain, I guess, because he does evil in his mind for a good cause. And then depending on how you define villain, I guess you can kind of consider him a villain, maybe. He's like the leader of his like family or his like clan, and he's very pragmatic. And if you are not a part of his family, he doesn't give a fuck about you, he'll do some pretty cruel and terrible things if it'll get him closer to his goal, which is the security of his family at all costs. And then there's him, but he's going to need a whole video to himself, so I'm not even going to mention this one. Anyway, let me know how I feel about this.